Hey everybody, thanks for watching. I am at Mississippi State with, on the wheels of steel over here, operating the computer, Tony Lutzak. Say hi, Tony.
Hey guys.
Tony, tell people briefly where we are and what you usually do in this room.
This is CAVS, which stands for the Center for Advanced Vehicular Systems. This is really a great research center that does virtual reality, augmented reality, driving simulations, testing for military and for special forces, the police officers and different things like that. A lot of robotic stuff goes on here. So cars of the future, a lot of different things like that. So what I do in this room, this is our human performance lab. So we have our Vicon cameras and our motion monitor software that we're actually able to capture everything you do in 3D space right here.
And today, if you guys saw on the channel about, gosh, when was that, Tony? 2 months ago in Williamsburg, that is like? 2 months ago, we did this video that was a big hit with me anyway, because it was one of my favorite golf lessons, and I've had a lot. And one of my favorite golf lessons I've ever had, where we were talking a lot about external focus and the power of external focus. And just to recap for that, external focus and why it works better for trying to learn something.
Well, when we look at external focus is looking at an object and trying to move an object. So the research, Dr. Gabriel Wolf has done a phenomenal job with the research, and it just shows that we learn things. It's kind of like riding a bike. We don't think about the pedal and moving the pedals itself. We're actually balancing and feeling the whole kind of bike within the environment. And the same thing we want with the golf club is we want to be able to, if we can control the golf club first and make the golf club do what we want, then our body responds the right way, which is, you know, kind of counterintuitive to most traditional golf instruction, which is let's analyze what the body's doing and then make the club follow that. And really what we see with more of an external focus is by focusing on the golf club, we see a better and improved body motion.
So that's what we're going to be doing today. Today we're going to imagine that Tony is here in Starkville, Mississippi, and I am in the Monte Carlo Casino in Monaco, and we have an amazing wireless connection. So, and the only thing Tony can see as the instructor is what the golf club is doing. So we have it hooked up through the Vicon system right now. So as I move the club, he sees what's happening with it. Tony, can you hear me? Okay.
I got you. A little delay there, but we got you.
What would you like to say?
Let's go ahead and we'll get ready to capture. And as soon as you hear the beep, you can start swinging.
I'll say this, like these are wiffle balls, really hard to tell on a wiffle ball whether you hit it or not. Now I'm going to come around because we're going to imagine that I can see what Tony sees too here as well. Okay. And then you've got a mouse there. All right, so I can see your mouse, Tony, and I can see.
So one of the things that we see at the top and everything looks great going back. Mm-hmm. You know, we see that it's a little bit inside, but it's really nice and smooth going back. And so that would be one thing that, you know, this is definitely a little bit more of a draw bias swing.
Yeah.
And then what I see in transition is that little loop. So this is what, you know, a semi-planar swing, which is, the club head doesn't swing purely on a plane, but the closer we can get to it, the easier it is to deliver it through the functional swing plane. But if we take a look right about here, this is where we see good face, club face position, shaft's just a little bit inside, but, you know, so this is definitely going to produce draw type motion. And you can kind of see from different angles, and that's the nice thing about the software is we can go ahead and start taking a look at it. So, I mean, that's pretty much on a plane right there.
Right.
So really, the question becomes: is this too much of a draw swing for you? So, you know, my question then would be: okay, well, what's been happening on the golf course? What's been happening on the range?
generally it's starting straight at the target and overdrawing for what I want.
Okay, so then what I would want to see is let's work on this backswing being a little bit, what feels a little bit more outside compared to what you're used to. And then try to maintain that same alignment coming down.
So not outside, inside, like that kind of loop.
Correct.
You're talking about
Outside.
here and there again.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yep.
Feel this again. Outside, off, and
Exactly.
the outside.
Good. Okay, when you hear the beep, you can go ahead and swing. Yeah, I would still like to see it more outside. This is my first checkpoint right here, is where we get that shaft parallel to the ground. Where do we see it? And that club face is just awesome right there. So this is a really good position.
Yeah, it's right in line.
Yeah, and see, I mean, there it is. So that's great right there.
Now, Tony, when you're working with somebody and trying to reprogram a motor pattern, like I know Tiger and Butch were talking about standing on the range for hours and hours, like re-drilling something. What do you find is the best way to change someone's, if they have an ingrained, like, we have a guy coming to our Be Better Golf School this weekend who's used noodles and barriers and other things to really try to get this move to stop. But once the barrier goes away or once he gets on the course, it's immediate again. How do we change something that's been...
So we have to tie into a very particular feel. So for an example, we had one of the members I had in here that we did just a quick video on. His feeling is that his right hand went out, literally like at a 45-degree angle, went out, and then he pointed the shaft dead left. So the right hand went away from you at 45-degree angle.
Like this.
Like that.
And then
that was his perception. And when we put that on video and we saw it on the 3D, it was perfect.
Yeah, just like humor me and do it, and let's just see what it looks like.
Exactly. He goes, and he said this is like the dumbest thing in the world, but it got him to feel exactly what he had to do. So he could tie into the feel, and this gets a little bit away from external focus because we're learning something new. When you first learn something new, some of the research is showing that focusing on new skills, new mechanics is good because you're still learning that pattern. So we're going to make sure our golfers this weekend really understand a feel and what that feel produces, even though the feel and reel aren't going to match up.
Right, and we'll have the cameras and the things that reinforce it. Be like, hey, look, you want to build your feels off of proper mechanics. Most people are saying, hey, feel this or that, and maybe then the proper mechanic will happen.
So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to flip this around so now you get to see yourself.
Okay.
You know, there you go. Now just feel like that. The pressure still stays in the right 3 fingers of that right hand to keep it out there.
I think that was better. That's pretty good.
That's pretty good right
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
Yeah, we could tighten up at the very top.
Good. And then we're feeling that on the way down.
Okay, let's
Don't try to hang on to it. I want the shaft to be getting, there you go. Let the shaft go. Try to get that club head back to the ball a lot sooner.
Okay.
Look at that.
Yeah. Make it a lot tighter. Oh yeah, that's good. Huge difference there.
Yeah. But that's a much better position right there.
All right, to get that feeling, guys, it was, hands were out, but when I usually did that hands out thing, my hands were frozen. So it was like you were saying, Tony, it was hands out, but there was some life to this.
Correct, yeah, you don't want to lose that part.
Yeah. So it was out with a little there, so it was really felt away from me and here. And then in this part, it felt like the hands were going to stay right in this spot, and I was going to get this lined up there more faster rather than pulling it this way.
Exactly. Exactly.
Here, here. Like at this gate here, I want to be more like that and wider rather than like rotated and tight.
You got it. And that's how you shallow it out. And then from there, we're going to keep going and take advantage of your body speed at the bottom.
Yeah, I think that'll be fun to do tomorrow. Thanks for watching, guys. If you guys want to learn more about Tony's method called the reactionary golf swing, we did put out this series called Building Your Reactionary Golf Swing, which is his like foundational pieces. But just this year, we filmed something called the Reactionary Golf Masterclass down in Orlando and in Las Vegas. We filmed and some other stuff. So it really gets deep into the transition and the role of the lower body in the swing. So it's really like combined with that. So you can get that at bebettergolf.net/premium. Or if you want to see really deep inside the workings of the golf swing and get more access, you have your own website.
Reactionarygolf.com. You can come and join us inside the golf lab where we get more into this EMG, everything into how to improve your golf swing.
And online lessons are included with that. So it's a big perk. Thanks, guys.